Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts and Ting and Ting and Ting. I'm Mr. Giant, and today we're going to be watching 5 food items banned in America but popular in Britain. I think I did the reverse food that was banned in Europe but not in America. So it will be interesting to see what Americans refuse to eat that the Brits would eat and ting. You understand what I'm saying and ting? Let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer and see what they're going to say in this bad boy.
Are we ready? Yeah. Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to food items that are banned in America. Now, surprisingly, there are a lot of food items whose production is illegal here in the United States, and it would take a lifetime of videos to list them all. And so, given the nature of my channel, I thought I'd focus on those food items that are banned in America, but are popular in Britain. And I must say that growing up in one country and then moving to another, only to discover the complete absence of certain things that you grew up with, is the very definition of a culture shock. Whether the food was banned with the welfare of an animal in mind, or because they were afraid that 5 people couldn't read warning labels, here are 5 food items that are banned in America, popular in Britain. In Britain, we are absolutely obsessed with a fruit called blackcurrant. When I say obsessed, I mean we make drinks out of it. Most famously, perhaps, is this drink, Ribena. And as a kid growing up, this was basically the only fluid that I consumed until I discovered alcohol at 9. And I think that's true of a lot of British kids, the Ribena, not the alcohol. And I think, at some point I just couldn't have imagined a world in which blackcurrant didn't exist. But to some extent that is, and certainly has been, the United States of America. Now, there's probably a small gathering of experts in the comments section saying, "What are you on about, Lawrence? Of course the production of blackcurrant isn't banned in America." And that is partly true now, but it wasn't between 1911 and 1966, when the cultivation, sale and transport of blackcurrant was banned by the federal government. And the reason for this ban is that the plant on which blackcurrant grows acts as a host for a wood-based disease known as wood pine blister rust. In a word, it would have up the timber industry. But Lawrence, 1966, English people of all people know how long ago that was. Why are you including blackcurrant in this video? For 2 reasons, really. Some states still impose restrictions on blackcurrant production. And number 2, which ties more to the culture shock aspect, it seems that mostly because of these bans, the majority of Americans that I speak to have never even heard of blackcurrant, let alone consumed it. In fact, according to Cornell University, fewer than 0.1% of Americans have ever eaten blackcurrant. That's right, it is illegal.
Oh man. So that's what it is. Because I remember black currants on the island, and I never see it here. We use it back home for certain things too. So that's what that is. See? That's why it's so cool to watch some of these videos, you know what I mean? Because that's why you learn. So it's probably not banned, but nobody eats it because of the stigma of it. Which is kind of understandable, you know what I mean? And but that's pretty interesting. Let's keep going here.
Legal in the United States to have imported from the UK one of Scotland's most famous dishes. What? But people on this side of the pond might be thinking, what is haggis? Is he that lovable bearded character from Harry Potter? No, haggis is a savoury pudding, and it's quite a divisive savoury pudding. And one of the chief reasons for that is its contents, specifically the heart, liver and lungs of a sheep. Now, as somebody who's never actually tried haggis, I cannot give it my Lorenzo score right here today. And given America's laws around this, it's unlikely that I ever will. You see, in 1971, the United States banned the importation of haggis from the United Kingdom on the grounds that the country was implementing a ban on the sale and production of anything containing sheep's lung. Following a 2010 review by the US Department of Agriculture, the ban was maintained and continues to be to this day.
Wow.
So what I want to know is, would you like to see the ban lifted, or are we all vegetarians when it comes to this? I'd also be interested to see how our respective stomachs handle this. That's right, the United States actually has a ban on the sale of non-refrigerated eggs. But don't take my word for it. Instead, listen to me from 2020. I've just realized that's still my word. A common question that I get from my American viewers is, What's the deal with British supermarkets not refrigerating their eggs? It's true, British supermarkets and EU supermarkets in general use non-refrigerated shelves to stock their eggs, putting them on a surprisingly equal footing with Cadbury's cream eggs. So why does this discrepancy exist between Britain and America? Well, it's a cracking question. It all comes down to both countries' attempts at preventing contamination. Basically, it works like this. In the United States, the USDA mandates that eggs must be washed and sanitized before they reach the consumer. The European Union, on the other hand, says that Class A eggs must not be washed, which sounds mental, right? Except the EU believes that washing eggs can do more harm than good. When a hen lays an egg, she coats it in a cuticle in order to protect the egg against contamination once it, pops out. Anyway, it's thought that washing eggs can result in the removal of this cuticle, making eggs vulnerable to pathogenic contamination. In America, the USDA requires producers to wash eggs in water with a minimum temperature of 90 degrees Fahrenheit. They are then rinsed with a special cleaning spray with the intention of eradicating contamination, and then dried. Not drying the eggs would mean that the resulting moisture could become a breeding ground for salmonella. So what's this got to do with refrigeration? Well, firstly, the USDA freely admits that washing the egg can remove the cuticle, so chilling the eggs in store becomes more critical. In Britain and the EU, not so much. That's
I'm trying to remember how we did eggs. I don't remember putting eggs in the fridge. But then again, we never really had eggs in those cartons that they have them in there. I don't remember having those on the island either. Maybe because we got our eggs out of the backyard. I had like 40 chickens in a chicken coop back there that I used to just go get my eggs from. So, and I definitely, well, I guess you wouldn't have to refrigerate it if you just go pick it out of the chicken coop and cook it right there. Now, we did wash the eggs in just water, no specific temperature, because it came straight from the coop there. And I mean, there's stuff you wouldn't want in your scrambled eggs from the coop itself, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I used to wash it before I cook it. But there wasn't anything scientific about it. Shoot, I didn't even know what salmonella was back then. So I guess this would be the same thing for a farm here in America or in England. I mean, you just go to the backyard or you go to the chicken coop and you get your damn eggs and you fix it up and you eat it. Let's keep going here.
That's right. It turns out that non-refrigerated eggs that came from a chicken are not the only type of eggs that are banned in the US. When I was a kid, I lived off a diet of Ribena and chocolate. Now, a lot's changed in the intervening years. I don't drink as much Ribena these days. And one of those chocolates was the Kinder Surprise. It was and is a chocolate egg, inside of which was a mystery toy. Actually, that's not even true. Inside of which was a capsule, inside of which was a mystery toy. And I just have this memory from probably, 1990 or something like that. I collected some teeny terrapins. They weren't real, just to be clear, they were toys. So I must have eaten about 100 Kinder eggs just to get the entire collection. And a hospital visit. Now, this is primarily marketed toward children, so obviously I haven't had any Kinder Surprises since I was 26. And that's partly because they don't have them in the United States, and that's completely because they're illegal. You see, the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act of 1938 banned the sale of any candy that had embedded in it a toy or a trinket.
Yeah.
Now, there's a not quite as exciting compromise. The US does sell Kinder Joy eggs, and it does include a toy. The major difference being that the toy is included separately from the egg. To be fair to America, though, I think I still do have one of those terrapins in my stomach. I'd give anything to swap it for an entire one of these.
Another thing, too, is like, here they like boneless stuff. It's like boneless chicken, boneless this, boneless that, you know what I mean? Where I'm from, like for instance, of course, too, you catch the fish yourself, you don't have to debone it. You just have to be careful when you're eating. I've gotten fish bones stuck in my throat many a times, but everything is just boneless, which is kind of similar to that where they, and I totally understand because kids could swallow those toys easily. And I've noticed a lot of seedless fruit here too. Now I don't know how it is in Europe or wherever else people are watching this. So let me know in the comment section if that's the case. So many seedless fruit and stuff. Like I ate a seedless. Well, I didn't eat it. I didn't trust it. I bought a mango, cut that sucker open, and there's no seed in the middle. It was natural. I was like, no, I'm not eating no seedless mango. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was man made. And, kids would definitely swallow those toys. So I can understand that.
Hey, oh, hold up. I can feel the intensity pouring through my camera. You're all in surprise overdrive. How can it be? Cadbury chocolate banned in America. Well, that's not entirely true. In fact, don't tell anybody. I picked up a bar today at Target. You can completely buy Cadbury's in the United States, so long as it was made here. Basically, since 1988, the US rights to Cadbury have been held by a small, little-known confectionery business known as the Hershey Company. And in 2015, Hershey successfully sued an online retailer that was importing British-made chocolate into the US. This legal case set a precedent. It basically said that only Hershey-made Cadbury can be sold in America. And to quell the storm of protest, Hershey basically said there's next to no difference between the taste of the British chocolate and the American
Wrong.
equivalent. British people disagree with this.
Oh, I disagree,
So
and
in
I
light
ain't
of
even
being
British.
an online mediator between the two countries, there was an all-out war for 2 days. Personally, I don't mind the American version all that much, evidenced by the fact that I ate the entire thing between takes. But if there is one thing over which British people will form a mutiny, it's when you come after their chocolate. These were 5 food items that were banned in the United States. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me.
And I did a video recently as to chocolate in America versus chocolate in Europe, and a lot of I think it was Britain specifically, but a lot of the people say that the chocolate tastes like vomit. The American chocolate does, and even some of my friends in Canada who watch this video, they say that it does taste like vomit. I personally am not a big fan of chocolate because I'm being from the island, big cocoa producing country. I'm used to like chocolate, you know what I mean? And they said one of the reasons why they don't like it is because of the process in which they make it, which is quite interesting. Anyway, man, I'll leave a link in the description to this video. Go check out old dude's channel and thing, see what else he's got there, because he's living here, but he's originally from Britain, so he's gonna give you that vibe. You know what I mean? And hey, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that you can get notified whenever I put up videos and thing. And I'll leave little windows and stuff here somewhere that you could go check out more of the videos and thing. You understand? In the meantime, y'all take care of each other, all right? Cool runnings.